the woman, what's her name? The actress in I, Tonya?
Allison Janney.
I believe she's gonna win. I believe she plays Tonya Harding's mother.
Oh yes,
and she did win the Golden Globe for that. Usually, as I said before, it does move over
for sure,
and she might win it.
Yeah. All right. So wrapping out our basically top 6 Oscar categories is Best Director, and for Best Director we have Christopher Nolan from Dunkirk, Jordan Peele from Get Out, Greta Gerwig from Lady Bird, Paul Thomas Anderson from Phantom Thread, and Guillermo del Toro for The Shape of Water. This one, I believe, is the most unpredictable because I think it could go to one of 3, or actually one of 4. I don't think Paul Thomas Anderson will win for Phantom Thread, but all the other directors I feel like are up for grabs. Christopher Nolan, you can make the argument that while the story isn't as compelling, the shots, the movie in general is beautiful. The camera work he got for this movie, the sets he got, the realistic airplanes like fighter jets and ships, and aircraft nonetheless. Christopher Nolan absolutely has a case for Best Director. Greta Gerwig for Lady Bird.
I think she's gonna win it, just because you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's tough.
She's the only female director, and they complained that there wasn't enough female directors recently.
Yeah.
Not to say that she isn't a good director, but politics aside, she probably is going to end up taking it. That's when I originally said top 3, I left her out, but then upon realizing that she was the only female nomination, that's why I think she has a huge shot. Guillermo del Toro. She go to Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah,
that's what I would like to see.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro. Great job with The Shape of Water. It's kind of a different film from what we're used to from him, as he did, Hellboy and Pacific Rim, but now making a beautiful masterpiece with The Shape of Water.
I mean, he has done Pan's Labyrinth. That's another one
right.
he did.
But I feel like this is the most acclaimed he's got for
in a while
for a movie of his.
Yeah.
Who I want to win really bad is Jordan Peele for Get Out, because Get Out is going to take one of these awards, whether it be Best Picture, Best Actor, or Director. And I feel like Jordan Peele has the best case for Best Director, because not only is this his first movie, but he knocked it out of the park. He combined horror with comedy while also delivering a very powerful message without being in your face about it. And that's a very hard thing to do as a director, let alone a first-time director where your only other work has been on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
So I think that's why, while I feel like I agree that Greta Gerwig could take it because of the whole complaints that there weren't enough female nominations, and getting her to win would be huge, I really want Jordan Peele to win, because I can't stress enough how insanely good Get Out was, especially from a first-time director like Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
And so you want Toro to win, right?
Yeah, I was saying I do think Guillermo del Toro should get it. He won the Golden Globe for it, and I think he deserves it more than. I mean, not to say that Jordan Peele doesn't deserve it, because that's pretty amazing to just I'm a comedian, now I'm directing a movie. Oh, is it going to be any good? Oh, greatest movie of the year? Oh, okay, here's your nomination. So,
exactly.
But Guillermo del Toro has been working for a very long time, and I think he should scoop it up.
Yeah, like I said, really hope. That's the one I'm most passionate about, because I feel like he has the best case to win, where a fan favorite of mine can actually take it home. Well, like I said, I do really hope Daniel Kaluuya wins. I don't think he has as strong of a case as Jordan Peele does. All right, so moving on to our film review this week. We're going to be pretty concise with it, as we're coming up on just 10 minutes left. But we have The Shape of Water, and this is directed by Guillermo del Toro, stars Sally Hawkins, Richard Jenkins, and why is his name escaping me? It is Zod himself. It is Michael Shannon.
And Doug Jones.
Doug Jones, of course, as the creature. They didn't really give him a name, I guess.
Fishy boy.
Yeah, Fishy boy. All right, so just to read the synopsis, Eliza is a mute, isolated woman played by Sally Hawkins who works as a cleaning lady in a hidden, high-secret government laboratory in 1962 Baltimore. Her life changes forever when she discovers the lab's classified secret, a mysterious, scaled creature from South America that lives in a water tank. As Eliza develops a unique bond with her new friend, she soon learns that its fate and very survival lies in the hands of a hostile government agent and a marine biologist. So we're not gonna avoid spoilers with this review. We're gonna just detail the movie completely. So if you haven't seen The Shape of Water yet, or if you plan to see The Shape of Water, this is the time where you pause the podcast, go see it, and come back later. If you don't care about spoilers or you have seen it, we're glad you're still with us. So for me, The Shape of Water, at times, my movie fan overshadowed my film fan in terms of being just uncomfortable with scenes and just, oh, that's weird. But when you look at it from a film fan perspective, some of these scenes are beautiful. And what I'm referencing is the bond between the creature and Eliza, and that the whole movie is played out that Eliza's mute and she feels like ashamed of her, her status as mute, and why am I losing the word for it?
Her disability?
Her disability, Jesus Christ. And so when she finally meets someone who is somewhat similar to her in that they feel like an outcast, obviously, he's a fish, but but they develop this bond, and they don't get into it fast. They start with, of course, she's like feeding him hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
And he's very hesitant. Yeah,
it gets a little intense later. But.
Yeah, hesitant at first, but they continue establishing the relationship. And we saw at the beginning she followed the same sort of daily routine, kind of robotic at this point, didn't feel like her own. And once the creature gets brought into her life, she has a bit of more pep in her step. She's happy to go to work, and things escalate quickly as we find out in the second and third acts.
Okay, so for me, this movie was really about self-worth.
Oh, yeah.
I think all the characters were looking for something. Eliza was looking for purpose in her life without like sound. She couldn't speak, and one of the scenes when the musical number, that was really, you could tell like how badly she wanted to be able to speak.
Oh yeah. Oh, beautiful scene.
Oh yeah, that was really cool. It just came out of nowhere, but it was still cool. And for Jenkins' character, he's a struggling artist. He's also homosexual. He's struggling with that in the 60s. It's really difficult. And he's looking for, just like he's an old man, and he hates being an old man, and he's looking for his place in the world, and he just can't find it. And he feels like it's too late for him.
Yeah, and we see that throughout with, it seems silly, but the constant repetition of wearing the hairpiece, showing that he wants to go back to his youth. And we see at the very end where the creature
gives him his hair back.
Creature has some sort of
healing property.
Yeah, because it's not human, obviously, and it has just different features. But just by like touching his hand, and obviously he doesn't get a full head of hair right away, but his bald spot gets covered essentially, and we see how like happy and rejoiceful he is, even though,
which is kind of like the movie giving like his worth was helping Eliza.
Yeah,
helping,
and so that showing that like the message of going to these like minorities, essentially people with disabilities, people who are just racial minorities or sexual minorities.
Spencer's character,
that helping them out is not like you will get rewarded for it. And not saying you should be focused on the reward, but things work out in the end, and that even something as small as getting his hair back, that's all he wanted, and it was something he never thought of as a possibility. So it really did but towards the very end, that message I thought was truly beautiful with that.
Yeah.
She's going to be on her own now, as in the end of the movie we find out that, she's going to go live in the ocean with...
Yeah, her scars on her neck become
from
kills.
Her childhood, yeah.
Yeah. And as I was going on, Michael Spencer's character... Oh, sorry, not Michael.
Michael Shannon?
Shannon, yeah, sorry. Michael Shannon's character, the villain, Strickland, he's even looking for worth. He doesn't feel like he's the best he can be.
Yeah.
And, he tries to keep on one-upping himself with the general and stuff throughout the movie.
For sure, yeah.
And he loses those two fingers, and, as the movie goes on, they darken, which is kind of, personification of his inner self.
Parallel with his morals, or lack thereof. Yeah. Even though he was brutal from the start, he gets more and more sadistic as the film goes on.
His candy and his fingers were his biggest, his imagery. That was imagery for him, right?
Yeah, candy was if we have a symbol for each character, his hard candy.
And his fingers.
Yeah, and his fingers were definitely rooted with his character in general. Octavia Spencer, I believe is her name, who's nominated.
Octavia Spencer, Zelda.
Yeah.
She was just looking for she's a African American in the 1960s again.
Yeah.
Very difficult. Her husband is lazy. She continues to talk about that. What's she looking for? Like, it was hard for me to figure that out.
I don't know.
Just kind of like looking to stay out of trouble, I guess. Really.
Yeah, because she didn't she complained about her husband, and we see that in the one scene with her husband. But she never really was on a goal. You know, she kind of showed up to work with a smile on her face, and she did a lot of talking with. Obviously, Eliza couldn't talk back, but she did a lot of talking with Eliza and showed that like there was still a bond between them, even though there was only one way of communication between them. And she's constantly sticking up for Eliza, and she's the one who helps her break out the creature from the facility in the first place.
Kind of by accident.
Yeah, and so it shows that, you know, she's willing to sacrifice a lot if it means the help of her friends.
Because she doesn't have a lot. She sacrifices pretty much everything.
She's willing to sacrifice everything just to, you know, something as silly as helping her mute friend break out a fish from a top secret government lab.
Yeah.
And she's willing to sacrifice that because it would mean the happiness of someone she's seen struggle for so long. And so I thought that was a beautiful message in something as little as that.
And as I was going to say, Eliza is, like, her worth is the same as the creature. They feel the same thing. That's kind of why they end up the way they do. They're both looking for someone.
Yeah.
Even though it might not be as clear as first with the fishman, but at the end you can really tell that's what he was looking for.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so...
one more actor.
Yeah, go for it.
He played Robert Hofstadter, the doctor.
Yes.
He was also really cool. That was probably the best subplot, in my opinion.
He's the one who helps them break out. Yeah.
He's a Soviet spy.
Yeah, and I love that bit because, you know, the revelation that he is a spy and then, of course, gets shot by Michael Shannon's character. Shot and killed. And, you know, this idea that he understood this isn't worth it we could maybe cure a disease by getting information out of this creature, but this creature,
country too.
Yeah, this creature is too unique to kill and destroy. Like there should be a preservation of nature. Sometimes it's not worth just the learning aspect. Some things are best left in mystery so they can survive.
Yeah.
All right, so do we want to give a score out of 10 on this movie?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. I'm going to go with an 8.4. While I didn't really have a ton of problems with this movie, I'm going off of enjoyment and a mix of enjoyment and, you know, worth as a film. Worth, I know, big theme in the movie. But I still really enjoyed this movie for what it was. While there were scenes that I was kind of hesitant about, it still definitely deserves its nomination for Best Picture.
I'm going to go with a 9 out of 10. It really was like a film.
Yeah.
Like it was like you could look at this so many different ways. And I do recommend, like, if you can see this movie, go and see it. I think it will give you something that you haven't thought about in a while.
For sure.
Especially like because of the time period and the characters that are in this movie. And that's a 9 out of 10.
Absolutely. All right, so with that being said, it is time to roll credits. All right, we want to thank you for joining us on today's episode 19, and we are still trying to get back on track to Wednesday releases. We know this is coming out on a Thursday, but as weeks go on, hopefully we will get better about getting it punctual, but we can at least guarantee an episode per week, whether that be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll see, but we're going to keep going, hopefully with more Oscar movies to review.
Yeah.
All right, so with that being said, you can find me on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, all the good stuff, at LiamCrowley714.
Find me everywhere at MikeGillis25.
Perfect. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at ReelTalkPod. That is REEL, as is spelled on the title. For a quick actor of the week, I'm going to go with Daniel Kaluuya, just because he got nominated. Very proud that his performance is getting recognized, and I hope he takes it home as well. He's got a movie coming out, Black Panther. Go check it out soon.
I'll go with Doug Jones. He played the fish creature. I think, you know, he's under that makeup and that suit. He was still able to, like, portray everything.
Convey a lot of emotion, too.
Yeah.
All right, for sure. All right, so with that being said, we are basically out of time. We want to thank you for joining us once again. And with that being said, it's been real. All right, thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week.